Good afternoon, everybody. Murray McDonald's my name, and I'll be your auctioneer for today. On behalf of ABC Real Estate and our vendor, Mr. Peterson, I'd like to welcome you along. It's a lovely day here today and a great day to be purchasing a property. Before we commence the auction, we need to run through a few of the terms and conditions just quickly. Firstly, the vendor's reserve price must be given in writing to the auctioneer before the auction commences. The right of the auctioneer to make one bid on behalf of the vendor has been instructed by the vendor, and I will clearly state when and if that bid is being made. Subject to any reserve price, the highest bidder will be the purchaser, and in the event of a disputed bid, the auctioneer is the sole arbitrator and the auctioneer's decision is final. The auctioneer may refuse to accept any bid that in the auctioneer's opinion is not in the best interests of the vendor. The bidder is deemed to be a principal unless before bidding, the bidder has given to the auctioneer a copy of a written authority to bid for or on behalf of another person. Now, if there's anybody here that has that authority and has not so far given it to Joanne, please go over there and do so now, because you are deemed to be a principal unless you have given that authority to Joanne and she's issued you with a bidder's number. The bid cannot be made or accepted after the fall of the hammer. And as soon as practicable after the fall of the hammer, the purchaser is to sign the agreement, if any, for sale. All bidders are to be registered in the bidder's record and display an identifying number when making a bid. Now, please go and see Joanne again. Make sure you're registered if you intend to make a bid today, because we cannot accept a bid unless you have that bidder's number. And finally, bidding by a co-owner or executor must be identified in the auction conditions, and no such person has been identified. Those terms and conditions, ladies and gentlemen, are on display here as well. You've had ample time to read those. And also the contract has been made available to all interested parties, and you've had time to peruse that and fully understand the terms and conditions, I trust. Now, before we commence, I'll just read the front page of the contract quickly. The vendor is Mr. Bruce Peterson, the vendor's solicitor, ABC Conveyancing, and the contract has been prepared by Smith and Jones Solicitors. Settlement is the 42nd day after the contract date, and the property, of course, is known as number 155 Miller Road in Jonesville. It's offered with vacant possession and with blinds, clothesline, curtains, fixed floor coverings, insect screens, stove, range hood and TV antenna. An absolutely beautiful first home opportunity here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a small 2-bedroom, 5-row home, but as you can see, it's on a magnificent block of land with some fantastic views out over the water. It represents an ideal opportunity for a first home buyer or developer perhaps to come into the market and really make something of this wonderful property. So I'm in your hands, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking for an opening bid or offer on number 155 Miller Street. Opening bid or offer on number 155 Miller Street. Where can we start? I'm in your hands. Where can we start? Looking for an opening bid or offer. 450,000. 450,000 is a good place to start. At $450,000 we have. At $450,000. $450,000. I'm looking for an advance on $450,000. At $450,000 once. At $450,000 twice. 460 we have. $460,000 is now the bid over there. At 460, 470, 480. Now we're starting to move. At $480,000 we have. At 480, 494. 490,000 we now have. At 490,000, 495. 495 now 500. 500,000 is the bid. At $500,000 we have. At $500,000 we're a little bit short of that reserve, ladies and gentlemen. At $500,000 we need to advance it a little bit more than that. At $500,000, 510, all fresh bidding, $510,000. At 510, 510, 520 now. At 520, 525, 530. At $530,000, $530,000 once. At $530,000 twice. At $530,000 for the third and final time. We're a little bit short of our reserve here, ladies and gentlemen, at $530,000. I'm going to exercise the vendor's right to bid, and I'm going to bid at $540,000. So $540,000 we have as a vendor's bid. So we need to exceed $540,000. I'll take it in $5,000 lots if that helps. At $540,000 is the bid. Don't let it slip for a few $1,000s here. At $540,000, at $545,000, at $545,000, at $545,000, I can tell you we're now on the market and we will be selling. At $545,000 is the bid. At $545,000 once, $545,000 twice, $545,000 for the third and final time. $550,000 on my left. At $550,000 once. At $550,000 twice. You're shaking your heads over there. That's not the way to do it. We need some nodding. We've got $550,000 at $550,000 for the third and final time. Sold to bidder number 486. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your attendance today.